Coming up on Mustang News, meet Cal Poly's newly elected ASI president.
We give you an exclusive look at a historic moment for Cal Poly athletics.
And find out why exotic animals may be closer than you think.
Hi.
Broadcasting from Studio 300 on Cal Poly's campus, you're watching Mustang News.
Thanks for joining us for our final weekly broadcast of Mustang News for the school year and spring quarter. I'm Katie McDermott.
And I'm Denzel Quarterman. Mustang News starts now. Cal Poly is getting to know the next ASI president. In April, Joy Sullivan, Connor Paquin, and Jake Rogers all ran for ASI president for the 2014-2015 school year. The three campaigned using strategies like free food, free t-shirts, and putting up signs. They also participated in the first ever debate hosted by the Republican Club and Mustang News. Joy Sullivan won with more than 2,500 votes. One of her main points while campaigning was to be approachable to students.
My door, but my door is always open to anyone. No matter who you are, no matter if you're part of a group on campus or not, I'd love to chat with anyone who's interested.
Joy will be president during her first year as a graduate student at Cal Poly.
We sat down with Cal Poly President Jeffrey Armstrong earlier this quarter as he took a deeper look into his vision for 2022. He expanded on his vision covering topics like diversity, the university's capital campaign, quarters versus semesters, graduation rates, and potential new businesses on campus.
Number one, I want people to know that whatever we do and as we move forward, we're going to stay focused on our founding principles. And it's focused on student success, learn by doing, excellence, and the nature of our university being a comprehensive polytechnic university.
Armstrong said he decided on 2022 because it was far enough in the future to make the presentation about a vision rather than an immediate action plan.
Cal Poly students witnessed a dramatic standoff this quarter. Poly Alert sent out a message to students warning them about avoiding Center Street on the afternoon of May 21st. Police had a warrant out for the arrest of Austin Ross for vehicle theft, firearm theft, and evading arrest. Ross refused to cooperate, then barricaded himself in his home with his supposed girlfriend. Regional SWAT officials arrived in case Ross was armed. After a 2-hour standoff, Ross eventually emerged wearing a mask. He obeyed the SWAT team's instructions and was taken away shortly after.
We went to make contact with him through our armored vehicle. He initially didn't respond. He finally responded to a window and then surrendered himself.
Ross was previously arrested in Grover Beach in April and was found with 83 grams of methamphetamine.
A large day party in Isla Vista back in early April turned into what police were calling an unlawful assembly and an emergency situation. The popular event, commonly known as Deltopia, happens on the first weekend of UCSB's spring quarter and drew a crowd of about 15,000 people this year. But it wasn't all fun and games. More than 100 people were arrested, including 18 during the actual disturbance. More than 40 people were taken to the hospital. Authorities remained in the area cleaning up broken glass and trash thrown about the neighborhood after the event.
What started out as a peaceful student-run event turned into two riots at Cal Poly's annual Poly Royale celebration in 1990. The 58-year-old tradition ended in 1990 after riots broke out. Students, residents, and visitors were arrested, tear gases, and water hosed by police officials during the outrage. Like Open House today, Poly Royale engaged visitors with activities like rodeo, animal showcase, tractor pull, and many more that made the event a memorable one. There is still some thought about the event coming back or not.
There isn't a final Poly Royals coming back, but there is at least a team of folks that are looking at the possibilities.
The community's biggest fear about the possible Poly Royale coming back is the potential for another riot.
The College of Agriculture, Food, and Environmental Sciences decided on its new dean last quarter. Andrew Thulin had been the interim dean for the college since July of 2013. Before that, he was the head of the Animal Science Department for 15 years.
Being a founding board member for the Cal Poly Foundation, and on that foundation board for 4 years, give me a lot of insight into, how we can do the advancement activities to better support the students.
Thulin was one of the final 3 candidates considered for the position.
Cal Poly hosted its 74th annual Poly Royale Rodeo in April. 6 different schools from all over the West made their trip to San Luis Obispo to compete. Events included bareback, saddle bronc riding, bull riding, and barrel racing. Students weren't the only ones to receive buckles. President Jeffrey Armstrong received his own as well. Ag business freshman Kayla Nickel was also crowned a Miss Cal Poly Rodeo at the 2014 event.
Well, coming up after the break, we're going to take a look inside the Cal Poly Pier, which only opens its gates to the public twice a year.
And Cal Poly students put on their camo for a week of combat. After the break.
Vomiting,
puking,
throwing up,
vomiting,
puking, throwing up,
cold, clammy,
blue,
cold, clammy,
blue.
Their breathing slows,
passed out, unresponsive,
passed out,
unresponsive.
You can't wake them up.
If you're dealing with somebody who's so intoxicated that you have to stop and ask yourself, gee, I wonder if they need help, they need help. Don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait until you're having to do CPR because they stop breathing or because they aspirated on their own vomit. Get them help.
So what you want to do is, have you already enrolled? You're doing fine.
What did that just do?
Select the drop-down menu again. Wait. Site, you're already enrolled. Example here, so don't panic. You're ready to make your payment. Submit. There it is.
Oh my God! I really can't believe it.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Guys,
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The Cal Poly Human Powered Vehicle Club competed against teams from across the nation in an annual race. The competition races recumbent bicycles and takes place in San Jose. The vehicles are judged on design, safety, and performance. The team started strong, floating between 3rd and 4th place until tragedy struck. The vehicle hit a deep pothole which ultimately made it unrideable, but the team still managed to place 4th in design.
It's very time intensive, and so from the beginning of design until competition is pretty much a full year, and that's cutting corners here and there, trying to make sure it gets done on time.
The Human Powered Vehicle Club accepts anyone who is interested and trains all of its volunteers to become top skilled composite fabricators in the state of California.
More than 900 people attended the open house at Cal Poly Pier this spring. Reporter Morgan Butler took a look inside the pier, which only opens its gates to the public twice a year.
So what they like to eat the most are these right here. These are called mussels.
For most of the year, the pier's closed off. We really don't like it if you bring your friends and family here because it's a scientific, dangerous environment. But on Pier Day, we open it up and let everyone come look at the stuff we do.
We have touch tanks so people can interact, touch, feel, smell animals. We had a scientific diving booth here so kids can come, throw in a mask, put a regulator in, and actually experience scuba diving a little bit.
And a lot of the stuff that we have on display, like out in the courtyard, we have a lot of our research projects. It's not stuff you'd be able to find, so it's just such a way you can discover so much fascinating new stuff.
Some of these kids have never interacted with the ocean at all, so this may be their first time handling a sea star or seeing fish that actually live under the ocean, and certainly in our case, the first time breathing off a scuba regulator.
Everything you see in this room, if you know where to look locally, you can find it. And I mean, that's really one of the things that I would seek to illustrate to people is just how great an environment we live in and all the cool stuff you can find here.
You are almost a mile out to sea and there's no chance of getting seasick. We had whales swimming by earlier this morning, and it's just a great opportunity to learn about the marine environment.
I mean, for me what this is I come in here and I talk to people about all these organisms that I love for 4 hours today. Isn't that weird? Doesn't that feel like mango?
Yeah.
Chance to take a look inside of the pier will be fall of 2014.
Engineering seniors are relaxing after both completing and demonstrating their senior projects. The students have been working for more than a year designing anything from a basketball launcher to a barbecue for the back of a truck. Engineers presented their projects at the expo on May 31st. Tim High, designer of an interactive science pool for children, worked with local kids to design and plan his project. He says the community-centered experience made all of the time and work worth it.
Session where we met with them and asked them what they wanted. They were doing sketches and we were doing sketches and exchanging ideas.
High and his group will be donating the pool to the San Luis Obispo Children's Museum.
Cal Poly students came together to show off their projects to some of Cal Poly's biggest donors and supporters. The past and present Cal Poly community came together for a night of green and gold. The first half of the event, of the second annual event, a student showcase, took place in Chumash Auditorium. Guests were able to visit exhibits from all different groups on campus. Later in the night, guests enjoyed a 3-course dinner, speeches, and a variety of performances.
A wonderful evening filled with a lot of exciting performances, great conversations with supporters and students, great celebration of Cal Poly.
Guests also had a chance to meet Cal Poly's Mustang, Moonstar, and the 2 Mustangs in training.
Cal Poly students put on their camo for 3 days of training in March. Leah Horner embedded with the ROTC members to see how they train.
Cal Poly ROTC members are preparing for their summer testing by going to war. This year, the battalion trained at Fort Hunter Liggett instead of Camp San Luis Obispo. The new surroundings help the third years learn to navigate new land like they will at Fort Knox in Kentucky for their testing this summer.
On top of not being in Camp SLO, we were just in a new area like we would be in Kentucky, so being unfamiliar with the terrain gave us kind of a more learning opportunity.
The weekend was designed to be identical to both this summer's testing and real-life combat.
Third years are given leadership positions, and then with those positions they're given missions to execute, and they're evaluated on how well they can execute the mission they are given.
The third year cadets have to carefully plan out how to move all 40 members of their platoon to the enemy. This weekend, the National Guard dressed up and played the enemy, giving the cadets a target to fight while also gaining feedback from the experts.
It was good because we had some input by actual soldiers who told us things that helped from a perspective of people who have been in the Army.
The platoons hiked over mountains and rocky terrain in all different weather extremes, but they pushed through and never stopped.
It rains and then it's super hot and people are tired. They've been walking around all day, carrying equipment, running around, kneeling, shooting.
For Creasman and other members, this weekend was not only preparation for this summer, but for the future.
Things permitting, I'll graduate and I'll commission as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. That's the dream, that's the goal.
This summer, 12 of Cal Poly's third years will be headed to Fort Knox, each for a month of testing.
Coming up, after a season for the history books, find out which Poly players caught MLB's baseball eye.
And get inside the head of one player carrying the weight that will be on the back on the field for the Mustangs next year.
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
We got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Both want to say
547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back. We have Lisa Diaz here in the studio with sports.
Yes, we had a historic year for basketball and I think baseball as well too here, Lisa, right?
Not just those two. We won 6 Big West championships this year, but we'll start with baseball because they're the most recent and the most exciting. For the first time in history, the Cal Poly baseball team won the Big West Conference Championship and hosted the Ncaa Regionals. We were there for the moment they took home their very first title. The Mustangs were ranked as high as #1 in one collegiate poll this past season and won 47 games, a new school record. Pitcher Matt Imhoff's, second baseman Mark Mathias, and pitcher Casey Bloomquist earned All-American honors. Imhoff was the first of 6 Mustangs to go in the MLB draft. Imhoff was not the only Mustang pitching lights out this season. Sophomore Casey Bloomquist tied for the most wins in the entire country. We caught up with Bloomquist as the regular season ended, and the baseball field is not the only field he is passionate about.
Well, my nerves are going a little bit, and I have a little anxiety, but I try to kind of relax myself and control my breathing during the national anthem.
Starting 13 games on the mound this season, sophomore pitcher Casey Bloomquist has won 12 of them for the Mustangs.
Just once you go out there, it just feels natural. It's like it's meant to be, and it's just something that I thrive under, and I love it.
The weight of his preparation is carried long before he hits the field.
You know, it's just putting yourself through torture and just not letting anyone know about it, really.
But the baseball diamond is not the only field Cal Poly is preparing him for.
It's a good feeling being a farmer because you know you're helping society. And you know, when it comes down to life, like you can have baseball and school and everything, but what it really comes down to is helping others, and feeding families is definitely a good feeling.
And Bloomquist feels most like himself when he is in the outdoors, hunting, fishing, and of course,
real good. As soon as I walk on the field, it's like, oh, this is my separation from class, from the weight room, from any sort of stress that I have going on in my life. This is the hour, 2 hour, 3 hours I can get away from all that stuff, and my mind can just be at rest.
Bloomquist has a passion for baseball that is 24/7.
About it truly is a love for the game, and there's a little joke all the baseball guys have, like we're married to the game. Like half our team has girlfriends, and half of us just have baseball, so it's something that keeps us occupied, and it's pretty much our girlfriend.
Well, the Mustangs season ended with an elimination in the NCAA Regionals here in San Luis Obispo by the Pepperdine Waves. But Casey did pitch lights out in that series. And baseball was not the only team to win a conference championship this spring quarter. The tennis team won the conference as well, and it went to its second NCAA tournament in 3 years, where the Mustangs fell to UCLA. Freshman Ben Donovan came into the program this season as a 5-star recruit and took over the #1 singles spot. Donovan also developed a strong bond with senior doubles partner Jürgen de Jager, who says Donovan came in and beat players he was not supposed to.
Because we played doubles together, so we had this pretty big point against Hawaii, and Ben served, and he made this like really good volley. And he turned around and looked at me, wiped his hair off, and just looked in the air like this. And that was definitely the funniest moment.
Ben Donovan was named Big West Freshman of the Year.
Well, I have to say that's pretty cool. Like, we did so well this year, which is just great for Cal Poly sports.
Yeah, and all sports too. I swear it was like everyone just got better. So I'm excited for what's coming up in the future here as well.
Definitely. I mean, Chris Eversley put it really well on Twitter. We're not just an academic and agriculture school. Definitely not.
Very true. Well, coming up, we get a glimpse of the musical success of some Cal Poly students.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, my name's Katie, and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student, and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie, if you want me to, like, you know, do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome back to Mustang News. We have Lindsay Lewis here in the studio for your Pollywood.
What's going on, Lindsay?
Hey guys, it's going great. So this year, Cal Poly students started a production company with a positive message. Eric Smichel's goal is for everyone to have a good experience with live music. Positive Vibe books electronic and hip-hop artists at venues all around SLO and always promotes the message, live positive, throughout their performances. As a graphic communications student, Eric used his design classes to help get the word out about his company.
You see a junk flyer, you're not going to go to that event. So in GRC, I learned how to really line up everything and make it look really appealing to people so it pops when people walk by.
Positive Vibe hosts Tonic Tuesday nights at Motab with live DJs. You can find more information on upcoming events and to purchase apparel on livepositivevibe.com. Now we're going to take a look back at our exclusive in-studio sneak peek of some Cal Poly alumni's newest project.
We are Próxima Parada,
also known as Proxima Parada.
1, 2, 3, 4! At every stop, it says, now approaching Próxima Parada. And then it says to stop, Mill and Johnson. My favorite song on the album is probably Did You See Him Go? Because it was a poem that my grandmother wrote about my grandpa.
So we spent the month of April here in the studios, Speak Studios in town.
And the cool thing about Porch Stomp is the fact that, like, it really, I think, resonates with, like, our view of San Luis Obispo. I mean, it's hard not to see, like, someone smile. It's hard not to see people just, like, really living life to the fullest.
You can look for Proxima Parada's debut album, Songs of Music, coming this summer. Now, another group of Cal Poly students had an unforgettable musical year. Let's take a look.
Senior Maddie Fry is getting ready for her 4th and final performance.
favorite song to sing is actually probably Wrecking Ball right now because I'm belting a lot and I haven't really belt like that ever in my life. And I didn't really know I could do that.
Take It Slow is wrapping up a very exciting year.
The fact that he was singing a song, was sitting on the stage in front of me was incredible. I was like collapsing in myself. I couldn't handle it really.
Musician Jason Mraz invited the a cappella group to perform with him at his concert.
And even just getting to like sing the solo for him, I was peeing my pants. It was so scary, but it was so cool.
This year, they also recorded an EP featuring their take on a current hit.
Pompeii, because it's like probably the most relevant right now, and I really like Daniel on a solo.
And there are big plans for next year.
The competition that we're doing is the ICCAs, and it's actually the same one that's in the movie Pitch Perfect.
As for Maddie, she isn't quite ready for her curtain call.
I'll be here actually next year getting my teaching credential, so I'm sure I'll come to some rehearsals even probably. Like I'll miss them and want to come see how they're doing and stuff.
Take It Slow host auditions at the beginning of each school year. Now that's it for the Poly Minute, and back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Coming up, exotic animals right here on the Central Coast. We'll tell you why they're here after the break.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
There's a lot of hidden dangers out there in cyberspace. Never put your personal information online unless you ask your parents and they say that it's fine. Before you log on, don't be hasty. Please be smart with online safety. Stop and think before your connection. Use these steps for your protection. Online safety.
So what you want to do is, have you already enrolled? You're doing fine. What did that just do? Select the drop-down menu again. Wait. Site, you're already enrolled. Example here, so don't panic. You're ready to make your payment. Submit. There it is.
Oh my God.
I really can't believe it. That's awesome. Good for you.
Our last story for today, a place where you can find lions, tigers, and bears on the Central Coast. Oh my.
You want it? What? Yeah?
Mackenzie Mossing loves her dog, but she has another favorite animal.
And I also really love the tiger just because she's so beautiful and she's actually a really gentle soul. So it's cool to see an animal that's so huge and powerful and just be so loving.
Mackenzie is not your typical Cal Poly student. She works at Conservation Ambassadors for Zoo to You.
Basically, we take animals from around the globe and we visit all sorts of ages, everything from senior groups to preschool kids and everywhere in between.
In Paso Robles, where the pavement ends, a whole new world begins. Over 300 animals have a place that they like to call home, all thanks to Club Zoo.
So most people don't know this, but exotic animals are the third largest illegal import behind drugs and weapons. So people are constantly sneaking them into the country and selling them. You can buy a monkey at a pet store in Las Vegas, which is pretty ridiculous.
When Conservation Ambassadors brings these animals to schools, the reactions are priceless.
It was like bringing aliens into this school. And it was amazing to see the kids light up, to get them to as close as we can get them. I'm like getting goosebumps right now.
People who are interested in the animals can volunteer at Club Zoo.
And it's really nice because it's a stress relief from school, and I don't think many people get to say that about their job. So it's nice to have them.
Dylan Payne, Mustang News.
All right, that's going to do it for us here for our final 30-minute broadcast of Mustang News for this school year.
We'll see you back here in the fall, but in the meantime, from all of us here in Studio 300, have a great summer and stay classy, Cal Poly.
See you later.